Hi, welcome to another Hotel Tales chat series, What's Your Story? He is a veteran of over 35 years in the hotel industry. Paul Cheah's career in the industry spans from various cities in China to island resorts and city hotels all across Malaysia. He had served the Holiday Inn Group, the Berjaya Hotels, the Grand Continental, Flamingo, Pacific Regency Group of Hotels, and is currently the Senior General Manager of Care Luxury Hotels and Resorts, who is operating the Trove and Granada Hotels in Johor Bahru, Malaysia. I know Paul as a very flamboyant, give it all kind of guy who would go beyond the call of duty to delight a guest. Armed with an MBA from Southern Pacific University, USA, and a certified hotel administrator from the American Hotels and Lodging Institute, Paul is a hands-on general manager, a strong love and passion for food and beverage. Let's chat with Paul Cheah and find out what's his story. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome to Hotel Tales What's Your Story chat series. I have with me here Paul Cheah, who is another industry veteran. Paul, let's go straight to some of these questions. We are all facing challenging times for the industry now due to the COVID-19. Tell us, what were your first actions when you realized that business was going downstream and potentially facing a drastic drop?
Hi, Hanley. Good day to you. It's been a very tough couple of months for us in 2020. So to answer your question, the immediate reaction was to actually look at our overheads and to start to manage more our cost lines. So pretty much there wasn't anything we could do about the top line, which is the business end of it. It was all market forces. So unfortunately for our first reaction was to look at overheads in terms of our staffings. We had to really cut off areas which were having too much fat, economies of scales wise. So immediately that was what we did to protect whatever remaining peoples that we could salvage.
I'm sure it's a very difficult exercise.
It was.
And I'm sure a lot of GMs who is going through this same process find it very difficult on where do you cut first. But so tell us, how do you navigate through this time on when you need to cost manage? How do you prioritize where to cut first or where to optimize in terms of savings?
A lot of our city hotel operations that we decided to, let's just say, downsize was pretty much the operational associates. It was a really tough choice to actually decide who to actually maintain and who to release. However, the business demands just did not correlate with the numbers that we had, which was pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, we were looking at about 80% occupancy with a total of about 150 staffs. During the peak of the COVID situation, we had to release about 80% of our staff force, and that started off with our food and beverage, with the kitchen, especially the kitchen, because banqueting was about 60% of our business, which is now dropped to about 20% overall. So majority of them was actually from the kitchen and F&B services, because as I said again, banqueting was a huge factor, and we have huge banqueting facilities. So this has been really affected, and therefore that was the first that we actually had to proceed with.
Yes. Thanks for sharing that, Paul. I'm sure as a general manager, the expectation of you during such times is really, really high. So therefore, I think balancing between profitability, maybe not the right word to use at this time. Profitability is more survival. Balancing between that, balancing between guest satisfaction. You still have some guests coming in. I'm sure you still need to make sure that they are being happy. Associate engagements, how to keep your associates or your staff happy and balanced. And at the same time, owners also do expect some kind of return because they probably need to service finances and all that. So how do you balance? I mean, as a GM, I can imagine the amount of immense pressure that you must be facing to balance all these stakeholders.
Hanley, it's needless to say a humongous job. Is sometimes rather daunting, but the direction that we've always taken from the beginning until currently, which thankfully is seems to be working for us anyway. First and foremost is pretty much the associate spirit. We focus a lot on human interaction with our remaining associates. We have to empathize to the fact that a lot of people have lost their jobs. The market is bad. It's going to continue to be bad. Forecast aside, I think pretty much we start off with that. We've always done that. We have constant interaction with our people. A lot of motivation is going around, a lot of empathy. That rolls on into automatically into handling of customer services. Customer services at this point of time is of the utmost because everybody's grabbing the same pie. Centric to each state's businesses. I mean, the leisure market, as we all know, is completely, or if not totally wiped out for this year. So what remains is, from a business perspective, we have to be sensitive towards the market change. All traditional KPIs are out of the window. I mean, you don't measure. It's really a new norm. So from the business perspective, as to acquiring current new norm businesses, for Johor, it is leisure, local leisure, and the government sector is providing us an ample amount of business to at least cover and to return to the owners a suitable amount of returns. But in the end, at this point of time, cash is king. Cash flow is something which we are all, focused on. And of course, moratorium is lifted in September. So from October onwards, is going to be a new challenge. So to say the least, to balance it all, I believe it's all about leadership and empathy. And from that, it dominoes into handling what has to be handled with a changing atmosphere, So again, from October until December, the last quarter, it's going to be really interesting to see what crops up. But of course, international travel, I do not foresee any movement. So it's all reading what the tide is going to be like for the next 3 months.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. I understand how challenging this must be for you and for all the GMs in Malaysia and also in the region. And thanks for sharing with us on how you navigate through these challenging times. This is about all the time that we have now. I wish you all the best. I wish that this situation will be before us in very near future. And I thank you again for coming and having a chat with me. Thank you very much, Paul.
Hanley, thank you for keeping us all together.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.